Hello party people, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Tori. Thank you so much for being here today. Today's video is going to be all about digitizing my closet. I'm using the app Indyx and I totally forgot to record an intro when I was doing this over the past few days. So I'm making the intro now and let's cut to the footage. We're just gonna go left to right in my closet. So we're gonna start with outerwear. Okay, listen, the back of my head, that is none of my business, but rest assured later in the video, it does get resolved. One of the reasons why I wanted to digitize my closet this year is because I really wanted to get a better understanding of the clothing pieces that I wear the most and then conversely the least. Indyx recommends that you take your clothing item off the hanger, lay it on a flat surface and take a proper flat lay. However, I knew for most of my jackets and tops that I did not want to do that just because the thought of having to take something off the hanger, make it a flat lay, put it back on the hanger, put it back in my closet just sounded way too taxing and time consuming. And honestly, at the end of the day, my goal was not to have perfect flat lays in this app. It was more of just seeing the data that the app would provide. I will say the blouse category is kind of making me, it's giving me a little bit of analysis paralysis. Like I'm like, which one is like the actual like correct answer? But I know that I can always change these labels later. So far I have 47 items in my index. And now it's finally time to do all of my white blouses and t-shirts. We will see how many of those I have. We're starting at 47. We'll do some math in a little bit. The thing I don't really love about Indyx is when you're adding stuff like from this plus and you're just taking photos, I have to write down every brand fully out. There's no like drop down that's like, oh, you've mentioned this brand before. Is it this brand? It's like, no, I have to type everything in and it's kind of annoying. Okay, so it seems like I have 20 white tops and 13 of them are t-shirt varieties and then the other 7 are actual blouses. I also realized that I do have quite a few that are just looking a little dingy or look a little stained, so I did pull some aside to fix them. There's a stain right here. This one's kind of just looking a little dingy. I can see a couple stains up close. This one has a little something on the sleeve, and then this one just has this weird something here. I'm definitely gonna have to search up like treatments for this, probably like soaking them in a little bit of like a vinegar solution or something and then washing them in the wash. Make that 21 white tops and 14 white t-shirts because just found this one hiding in all the grays. I really feel like these two dresses are like peak pandemic purchases. We have this iconic with jean dress, and then this pastel version of the iconic House of Sunny dress. I feel like if I got the classic green one, it would be like 2 on the nose, but I was obsessed with this print. I've only worn it a couple times because it's bodycon and I don't like bodycon things, but I want to hang on to this because I really want to try and find ways to wear it. I feel like I'm far more confident in my body now than when I was when I purchased this, and so I feel like she has potential. Maybe we'll revisit her in the spring and summertime, but I really wore this one a lot. I loved this one. And the color, ooh. These next 4 dresses are dresses that I feel like do not fit my personal style, but they are perfect occasion wear. I wore all of these to weddings last year and I can definitely see myself re-wearing them this year. I have this blue number from Anthropologie. I have this more casual one also from Anthropologie. Anthropologie's sale section kind of slays for wedding guest dresses. And then these next 2 are not hung well where you can see what they look like, but this one is gorgeous. This one has like a high neck and like a scarf situation. Very gorgeous. And then I have this one, which is like one of the like OG Reformation type dresses. I feel like a lot of people rent wedding guest dresses. However, for myself, I just knew that wasn't going to be a possibility, mostly because I have such a weird size. Like I'm very large. I'm like I literally range from like a 12 to an 18 depending on the brand, depending on the dress. And so renting clothes it doesn't really feel like an option to me. I also tried Nuuly and none of the clothing pieces fit, so it really like made me spiral. But I feel good about purchasing wedding guest dresses just because I had so many weddings in succession last year that I felt like I needed to have something on hand all the time. 3 of them were for the same side of my family, and no one cared if I re-wore a dress that they had already seen. As long as it was appropriate for the wedding, I feel like that's all that mattered. The white top saga is never ending. We have to add 4 more pieces to the count. I ended the day by digitizing my sweaters, sweatshirts, and folded denim. It was in this moment that I realized almost all of my sweatshirts are merch, whether that's artist merch for Coachella, Harry Styles, and Niall Horan, or merch for things like Glossier. In my Low by 2025 video, I mentioned that I don't want any more merch tees, and I'm going to be adding crew necks and sweatshirts to that list as well. If you're thinking about digitizing your closet, please make sure you're playing really good music, because by this time, morale was so low, but the playlist was so good. Good morning, party people. It's day 2, and I feel very good about what we have to do today. Today, it's just all of my hanging bottom pieces, accessories, jewelry, and shoes, and I feel like can get it done today. For all of my tops, I did not take them off the hanger, but for my bottoms, I will be, and I decided to use my bed as a backdrop. I'm still in comfy clothes because this is gonna be a lot of hanging and unhanging, so let's get into it. As I was cataloging my bottoms, I realized that I have become a denim girly over the past 1.5 to 2 years, and that was made very apparent by the way so many of these pieces had creases from how long they've been sitting on the hanger. I was kind of thinking to myself, is it because I'm not wearing these pieces? Is it because I'm not storing them properly? Is it a mix of the two? So that's definitely something I'm going to keep in mind as the year goes on. As I was finishing up the clothing in my closet overall, I also realized that one facet of my personal style that I'd love to refine is my going out style. Like, what do I like to wear when I'm having a night out on the town, when I want to feel a little bit more flirty and, dare I say, sexy? So I'm really excited to refine that style this year, kind of see what I gravitate towards, the pieces that I'm really coveting and that keep popping up on my wish list this year. Reaching the home stretch, time to do belts and bags. I'm contemplating whether I should do my tote bags as well. I'm leaning towards yes, because there are some times where I'll opt for a tote instead of like a leather bag or something like that. I saw Karina do this when she was digitizing her closet, and she stuffed her bags so they kind of had a little bit more body, and I think I'm gonna do the same thing for some of my bags, not all of them, but for the ones that I do think need a little extra, like this bag. Real baddies know this bag, I'm just saying. I truly have an obscene amount of tote bags. I feel like for a long time, brands were kind of giving them as like a free gift with purchase when you bought something online or in store, but now they're just collecting dust in my closet. I separated my tote bags into totes I use for groceries, totes that I really just don't use at all, and then totes that I sometimes use in lieu of bags or purses, and these are the ones that I'm going to be adding into Indyx. This nice sturdy Reformation one, these 2 from Shakespeare & Company, this one from Book Soup, this one that I got ages and ages ago at Borough Market in London. This is one of my favorite totes. This is from Daunt Books, also in London, and I love that it's square. And then of course, as we've seen throughout this video, I am a merch fiend. So I have 2 Harry Styles lovvetori totes. What can I say? The man makes great merch, okay? Finally, before we move on to shoes, I just have a couple boxes of random accessories. I have hats. I also have, what else? Disney ears, snow gear. Within these boxes, I have this gorgeous sony poncho that I got on the Real a couple of years ago. And I've always wanted to find ways to wear it, but eventually the ends became too tangled up and it's fraying so badly that I'm like, can I even wear it? Unfortunately, I did not take great care of this and it's kind of wasting away in my closet. It's so cute, but it needs to be saved. Like, look, there's like pieces missing. This is all coming undone. But it's so cute. In addition to that poncho, I also found a couple scarves that I actually don't want to wear. I want to frame. I have this one from the Met. It was tied to their camp exhibit. I feel like that would be a really cool piece to have in a hallway. And then I have this handkerchief that I got in Italy. And I feel like this, oh no, it has a stain. I feel like this though, with like, in a frame with like a red background would be like really beautiful, gorgeous.
I totally forgot about my jewelry box, so morale was kind of low during this point. As I was going through my jewelry box, I learned a couple of different things. The first is that I love a flower motif for like a necklace or neckwear. The second thing is that I have so many rings and I still fit in them. I thought I wouldn't because my weight has fluctuated through the years, but they all still fit me.
I found out I'm missing 2 pairs to 2 different Majuri earrings, which is very sad because they were some of my faves, but it's also so funny to see how many Majuri pieces I have in my collection. Like, I really miss being on their PR and on their gifting because that was really sweet. Finally, let's move on to shoes. I don't have too many pairs of shoes. However, a lot of my shoes are a little dusty, dirty, so I feel like that will be the most time-consuming part, like wiping them down so they're camera ready. But other than that, once I'm done with my shoes, everything will be digitized, which is very exciting. And then Indyx can stop yelling at me and telling me that I'm indexing wrong.
The biggest difference between cataloging my shoes and every other facet of my closet is that I didn't really have a big aha learning moment when doing so. I feel like when it comes to my shoes, I know what I want and I know what I like, and part of that is because I have such an abnormal shoe size that I've kind of been trained to think that way for a very long time. They also very rarely make trendy shoes in my shoe size, so I find that it's very rare that I buy a pair of shoes that only get worn once or twice or that I immediately regret.
Now we're back to the present day and I currently have 355 items saved on my index. I feel like that's a lot of product. Like when I look at my like storage space and my closet space, I actually feel like I have a smaller closet compared to a lot of people I see online, but adding everything to a digital closet I think really put things into perspective. I also know that that number will change just depending on whether or not I want to add the athletic wear that I wear most often. I also know that I left a couple pieces at my parents' house, like I left a couple of shoes, so it'll still be in flux. Let's wrap up this video because the sun is setting. The sun is literally telling me to stop talking, but I feel like just preliminary thoughts I've had after digitizing my closet. 1, that I have so much more stuff than I thought I did. 2 is that I really need to take better care of my pieces. I have a whole basket now full of dingy whites and just other shirts and things that I really need to clean and like spruce up a little bit. When I was taking photos of like my skirts and my bottoms that aren't jeans, so many of them are creased by the hangers that I have them on because I just haven't worn them in so long. So now I'm kind of brainstorming, is the crease coming because of like just lack of wear, or am I just not storing things properly? So that's another thing I'm kind of like considering right now. I also realized I have so many sunglasses that I don't wear, and I think it's probably because I've been like obsessed with the concept of like making an archive for my future children or like my future nieces and nephews, and I'm like, that feels like so silly. Okay, the sun is back out. I also realized that I really don't need to buy any more sweatshirts or tote bags. I feel like I have so many tote bags that I simply don't use. When it comes to sweatshirts, I feel like I might have to implement like a one in, one out rule if I buy anything new this year. And my last thought was honestly that I'm so okay with my low buy right now. Like I actually have no desire to go shopping after digitizing my entire closet. I'm like, I actually cannot add another item into my closet. Like I think it would break me spiritually. So I'm still feeling really good and really confident in my low buy. Hopefully the desire or like the lack of desire to shop continues. But yeah, those are all of my thoughts. I hope this inspired you to digitize your closet. I hope it did not scare you off in any way, because although it was very taxing, it was honestly very worth it. I'm very excited to see what the data shows me as I continue to log all of my outfits this year. And yeah, that's it. If you want to see more from me, I will leave all my socials linked down below, but I'll see you very soon for the next video. Bye!